We're live. Hey, welcome to Spectrum Podcast.
Yo, hey, it's Dani, guys.
It's Breezy, and we are live from one of our favorite institutions, which happens to be named Institution Ale.
Smooth.
Thank you. Down here in downtown Santa Barbara.
Live from a brewery.
New thing we're doing, so welcome to Live from a Brewery, Session 1.
And we've agreed that it's going to be on Mondays.
Yeah, so I don't know how the holidays went for the rest of you all, but I'm like normally an anomaly that enjoys family time and has no drama, and like I don't know why I fell into tropes this year, but I mean I do. But anyway, there was some family drama for almost the first time ever in my little clan, which
Bro,
you know,
you're talking to the queen of family drama.
Like, but it's because you guys are basically all airing and facing your own shit in front of each other, even if it's ugly. Like, we're mostly trying to, like, be well-kept and stuff, which is, like, sometimes okay and sometimes not. And I'm trying to face my own shit every day, and things came up in that manner.
Well,
so
I've definitely had to learn to, like, face my own shit every day. And I think that's what kind of happened with this last, family blow up. And I just,
I really Dani's text form.
I really don't believe that I fucked up, but I have a life check-in that I want to share with you.
Okay.
And I know everybody who is close to me or knows of my mom or family, like they are just kind of monitoring my social medias. And
Is that their version of a wellness check?
Maybe,
just
but
two fingers on the pulse of a social media account in case Danielle's in need.
I mean, I don't really normally share like personal things on social media because it's just social media and I don't really give a shit. It's really just there for the shit posts, and unless I'm like promoting our podcast or something else, then social media is kind of a joke to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, over this last blow up...
I think that's a good way to take it. Grain of salt.
Yeah. And over this last blow up, I posted on Facebook that my mom died.
So here's where I knew that something like this was going to come in, because I'm no longer on Facebook. Talk about saving face with relations of family members. Had to quit that early pandemic days. However, not on there, so didn't see your post. You alluded to something going on. Then your sister was talking about it in the text. So I'm like, when's the other shoe gonna drop here? And I'm gonna find out what happened. So
so here's
straight up.
It was kind of cryptic in a way, but not necessarily.
Like I wrote, my mom is dead to me, or
I mean,
my mom
either
is
way,
dead.
the message was that my mom had died.
Which, by the way, I think everyone knows by now, but my mom is actually dead, so it's like, this is not triggering for me, I will say. There are other things that are, but...
I feel like you get my humor, so...
Yeah, dude.
You won't be triggered.
We both, like, get to that point where we're like, I'm just gonna kill myself. And not, like, really, but, like, we all know how this is.
Yeah.
It's cool. I get it.
So let me address, no, my mom is not dead. And no, she's not dead to me. And maybe I shouldn't have written that on Facebook. But I mean,
you're not even actually estranged.
I was so mad. And it kind of sent like this wildfire through the like extended family. Everyone thinking,
even her grandma's mad.
Everyone thinking my mom has died, so they're calling her.
I have to say, dude, though, okay, what I can attest to is my initial shock when you straight verbatim text me just my mom is dead, because remember, I do have a dead mom, and I have a lot of trauma around loss in my life, so I'm a PTSD person. I'm not a depression person. That's my kind of fuck up in comedy.
No, yeah.
So for me, the second I read that, I go into damage control, because I went through like an initial stage of emotion for you that was just like, oh my god, this changes things. And then within like the next two texts, you revealed that you didn't mean like literally, and that changed things.
A part of her had to die. Like a part of her had to die to me, that way I can move on. And it wasn't funny. I mean, I didn't think it was meant to be funny. I don't think it was meant to be funny.
It was meant to allow you to place more than just a stake in the sand, dog.
It was an episode for me. And if anybody who has anxiety or knows what it's like to go through these like whirlwinds of emotions, like sometimes poetry and music is like a good way to outlook on. And like this was kind of that situation. And
You were trying to
realized
kind
that
of
the
be
people
poetic.
who contacted me who were like, that's not funny, like you need fucking help. Like one of my own aunts was like, get help. I'm like, you know what, bitch? Block.
Well, I
No,
mean,
but it just like it made me realize that these people were focused on how they felt. And it's just whatever.
or
dude, like,
there was something that you made them feel. Yeah, like you said, you triggered something in them.
yeah,
they
like
felt
everybody
a thing.
is just like, oh, how could you do that to your mom?
Well, but here's
She's
the thing
been
too.
through-
I think you and I are on these similar journeys to accepting ourselves in full form, and part of that is facing uncomfortable feelings on a daily fucking basis. And as much as that sounds like whatever, dude, that is hard work, and most of us don't do it. And I've compartmentalized my whole life, so I understand better than anyone. There's a reason for doing that. But when you're trying to just deal with your whole self and accept your whole self, you're facing that uncomfortable shit rather than covering it up or turning away from it. Most people don't do that. And what you might have done is make them uncomfortable in a way that they didn't want to face. And rather than them facing it, they kind of just blamed you for making them feel the feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like, so I just want to clear the air and, like, you know, not put my side out there, because at this point, my side is the truth. And I respect my mom. I respect her for being my mom. And she's made it very difficult for me to become an adult. She's made it very, I mean, she may not think that. And, like, I know a lot of people might disagree. And I come from a Mexican background where you kind of just, like, pull your fucking pants up and you keep on going. And, like, that's the ultimate goal for everyone. But mental health is so important. And I'm so sick of people acting like it's not.
Yeah.
So to clarify, like, what really went through my head as I was posting this is a part of her really did have to die for me to move on, because a part of me has died with her also, because this needy, attention wanting, seeking person of just like, gimme, please just love me, I'm sick of her. Like, I want her to die too.
Yeah, so it's a part of it's like a place where your relationship has grown to that is not tenable, and it's a version of each of yourselves in that place that is also untenable, and now you're trying to find a way to get back from that to somewhere else.
It made me realize when people are like, your mom has been through so much. Can you imagine how it's like to lose your family and to lose this and to lose that? And all I could think is if you were there with me, you would see that I lost those things too. I went through all of that. I evolved. Right. I digressed with her at the same time. Everything that she went through, I went through time just a little bit harder, because I worked so hard to try to fix her problems. That way she can focus on loving me again. And how selfish of me to say something like that. But I realized that because she was broken and I felt like I needed to fix it, I couldn't, and I can't parent my parent. And she's got like a different kind of like issues. Like her anger issues goes far beyond like a normal level. Like I've seen this woman scratch the skin off her face because she was so mad.
Yeah, dude.
I've seen her pick up a microwave and throw it across a room. Like,
I mean, it's weird because there's times where I get in touch with a really pure and dark like anger that comes so full force that like it feels that way. It takes you over.
Who doesn't?
It's out of control. No, but I guess I mean, I have a sympathy for how it feels to be hijacked of yourself, whether it's like an anxiety attack, whether it's anger like that. It's connected to some kind of hurt or pain. There's a real thing that it's tied to, and it comes out of nowhere, and it's fucking blindsiding,
and this
dude.
last time, dude, she went out of her way to hurt me. Like, but over the weekend, we were supposed to have Thanksgiving, birthday, housewarming festivities all in one weekend.
Your boyfriend's birthday was the day after Thanksgiving on Friday.
And we had this plan to have this like gathering at her home, and it wasn't about Alex. Like, it wasn't about him in general. It was about the housewarming, the Thanksgiving, and the new beginnings. And then for her to just stab me and tell me, you can forget about, Alex's birthday. I'm like, you know what? Alex's birthday is going to come either way. We're going to celebrate his birthday no matter what.
And I think to add to that, also, they kind of use Alex as a point of, there's sort of, I don't know if I want to call this like a trope or something that they have about you, but I've just outwardly as a third party noticed that your family likes to point to your different relationships with different men at different times and be like, this is a form of escapism or something. And I don't think it's like a fair accusation in this current relationship that you're in. Like, maybe they felt that in the past, but I feel like sometimes they weaponize like your own relationship being so just quick to go from like new to so developed.
My
Timeline-wise,
relationship is so developed.
Right,
like, I am in one of the most.
But do you know what I'm saying? That I feel like sometimes they
relationships.
try to use the quick timeline of your seriousness of your relationship against you, as though that itself is an issue or is a sign of some issue. And I don't think that that's very fair to you. I don't think it's very fair to growth that you're going through.
No, it was honestly,
right?
it was so unfair. Everything
so
from
she
start
latched
to finish.
onto something that they want that's healthy
She
for
just
you,
knew it would
and they
hurt
just
me.
wanted to hurt
She
you.
just knew it would hurt me, and I know like. If someone loves you, like, they're not going to go out of the way to hurt you that bad. You can't.
Wait,
no.
you have to remember,
No.
hurt people, Dani.
I already know that, though. Like,
She's hurt.
But that's me making excuses for her
I'm not
continuously.
trying. Yeah, I agree that I think what the problem for everyone around her and for you is that everyone keeps being like, feel bad for her where she's at, but then they're not extending the same kindness to you of what they're extending to her. They're saying, well, she's this just the way she is because life's been hard. How is that not true for each of us then? And if it's true for her, it should be true for you. And so everyone needs to just like,
I think what really,
be more humble
really
or
offended
something.
me at the very end of it all, her and I just kind of bickered and went back and forth. And then, you know, she came to my my grandmother's house, and then it just got really ugly. And, you know, she was obviously still mad. But her boyfriend of like 150 days.
right, which is the most ironic thing, by the way.
Her boyfriend, who she's infatuated and they're engaged or
You're
whatever.
like
They're
twice the
getting in
relationship
love.
of that. You guys have at
All
least been
I'm
together
saying
over
is
6
they
months.
have known each other for less than 200 days, and this man, guy, person, I don't even know him, told me that
Johnny
he
boy.
knows my mom so well. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure everything that she's told you and that she's shared with you is from her perspective. But this person decided to tell me about my mom and her personality after I have known this woman inside and out for years.
You probably felt a bit seething under the skin in the same way I did with my
it
whole
makes me
what
boil
happened to
right
me over
now
the
just
weekend.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a visceral anger because, dude, it's minimizing. It's minimizing so much. It's trying to oversimplify so much, and it's just for why.
and the worst part
What
about
purpose?
it, dude, is like he's a good guy. Like he's a good guy to my mom. He treats her well. He treats my sister well, and he's there. Like
And
he's,
you're big
he's
enough to
supportive.
say that and recognize it
He's
and be
stable.
Let me
Like
guess.
I can't even hate him.
Can I ask you, independent of everything that's happening between you and your mom, are you happy for her that she's found someone in her life?
I think that's why I was able to step back so
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, dude, because
I know she's like in love right now, and
yeah, and you
she's
are respecting
happy,
it. Yeah.
And I just don't
Yeah.
want to do any more.
Yeah.
That's gonna take from her and
Yeah.
from that, because I know like he took the reins on this woman who really needed some kind of
Support.
attention and support, something I
Yeah.
couldn't give her. And like being diagnosed with BPD, and I've realized that like my mom has always been my favorite person.
Yeah.
She's always been my rock.
It's okay, take a
So
beat.
to let her go,
It's a lot.
it really put. I was able to let go because she was able to lean on this person, you know, and she
right, so
respects him.
you didn't feel like you were
She loves him.
being absent in a way where she would
She just
need
didn't
you
need
to be
me
there.
anymore.
Yeah. So you didn't feel like you were abandoning her. You felt like you're respecting a boundary and allowing her to
No,
be her.
I had to respect my boundary because
well, it's more you respecting boundaries for each of you, I think.
She really hurt me, and I know she did it on purpose, and that was the worst part about it. And not thinking like it's Thanksgiving, it's a housewarming party. It's
Yeah.
in her mind it's Danny's boyfriend's party, and I'm gonna hurt her and take it
just
away.
Because if I make a stand right now, I know it'll affect her in a direct kind of manner. Oh, dude, you're good.
I'm checking my eyeliner because we're in a brewery still.
I know. It's funny though, but this is actually probably the first time I've actually seen you bring yourself to tears, and of course we're in the most public format that we've done this in. But dude, it's
Well,
awesome.
because it's my mom. Like I'm so in love with her. I've always
I know.
like
That's
it hurts
it.
me so much to even think about like having to let her go.
Yeah. Well,
But
there's
I have to let her go.
At least
I have
it-
to let her figure it out and be an adult and regulate her emotions. And
the version of what you have had is not working for anyone anymore.
And I always reach out first to both my parents. I'm always the first person to be like, hey.
That's a kind of a burden in its own way,
why?
too.
Why do I have to do that?
I understand. I mean, sometimes, well, I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for anyone, but I do understand. It feels a similar way for me. There can be more time that passes than not before I'm the one that reaches out to family and, whatever. Everyone gets busy and shit, but I think it's different in your case. It's different. And you're from a family of divorce. Something you've said to me in the past is that one of your reasons that you initially found like humor and laughter was because it was like survival in your home growing up. Like you were the one that disarmed everybody when shit was getting too heated. You were the one that like told the joke to keep shit from getting, verbally,
even at the most inappropriate
lifted
times.
I don't want to say violent, but you know what I mean. Just like to a point where you're not comfortable as a kid.
Which happened when I posted that my mom's dead on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, it's really funny. Like, I didn't want to tell Alex like why I was so upset and why everyone's texting me, and I'm literally hiding myself. I was like embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I was like, how is my boyfriend gonna react that I posted that my mom died on Facebook? But I had to finally come clean to him and be like, you know what? This is why I've been so upset. This is why my phone has been blowing up. And as soon as I told him that my mom died on Facebook, he started laughing.
Because he knows.
He's like, that's inappropriate, but that's very funny. He's like, can you imagine someone calling her and she picks up the phone and they're like, are you dead?
That was what he said. Dude, I love where his head was at is like so different from where you were at. He's like, thank you for laughing at this.
He just made me feel like my dark humor. And like, that's right. My mom is one of the darkest and most funniest people that I know. Like, she's my best friend and she's always going to be my best friend, dead or alive.
I know. That's why it's like, it's a rough one. But we're here because we're choosing to be here. Mm-hmm.
And I've had to make a lot of changes to be around her. I don't drink around her. I don't like start arguments around her. I will do what I can. Because a lot of people told me that I'm the problem. And my mom convinced me that I just might be the problem. So I had to make a lot of changes. Moving out, not drinking around her, not bringing up triggering conversations. Just whatever it was to avoid anything.
Yeah. Some people might call that padding or tiptoeing on eggshells. It's just learned behavior because you're trying not to.
Yeah, and now not talking to Olivia, my sister, is even worse because
your younger sister is but she's also
the way
kind
she
of
talks to
in the
me
midst
is just
of
the way
it.
my mom talks to me,
Well,
and
you guys are also
so unfortunate.
It's also all occurring, at least in the case of you and your younger, over text, and that already has.
I just realized that I'm not her parent, and it's not my responsibility to make sure that she knows how to talk to people.
It's funny. She's so smart, dude. Like when Dani sent me like this string of texts between her and her younger sister that was like literally following this Facebook post, and her sister was pissed off at her, and I think rightfully so in some ways, but it was just like a matter of her needing to also be more compassionate towards you and understanding that like
Olivia
shit, dude, it's
doesn't
not
even
just
have
one way.
Facebook, and I'm pretty sure it was just her being in the room when my mom was discussing it.
Either way, it's like she understood that you posted something that she was like, what the fuck, bitch, why would you do that? And then she said as much, and I thought like some of the shit that she said that I thought was pretty like, that's interesting, she's astute, is like, I'm just because I'm, a younger sister that's not afraid of damaged adults and shit. And I was like, God damn, like,
She's
poor
raised
Olivia,
by a damaged adult.
I
like
know,
my mom is nearly like she always reminds me of my you're almost 30 and you don't do this. You're almost 30 and you don't have that.
And you're like, oh, Mom.
And I'm thinking like, oh, Mom, you're almost 50 and you're on housing. You just found love after 100 days.
Yeah, it's just
you're still waxing vaginas.
Everyone wants to tell you what to do, but not look at themselves. I actually felt like Alyssa was your only person that kind of saw you where you were at.
The only reason why
because you pissed yourself in front of her.
My anxiety was so bad. Dead sober. I'm leaving work and I'm throwing up and pissing myself.
I didn't mean to minimize that.
No,
it's
sorry,
fine. Dude.
It's fucking ridiculous and hilarious. The fact that I couldn't, my body couldn't compose myself enough to just go home. I was dead sober. I'm leaving work. I left 2 hours into my shift because everyone's like, your mom's not dead. Why would you do that? Like, you're insane. Like, get fucking help. Like, you fucking loser. And I'm just like...
Did your manager just say it's okay? Just go.
I had to leave. Like, he saw me coming in and I was already, like, out of it. Yeah. And he was like, and he knows about...
He's nice.
My
I've met
acute autism. He's aware of my...
It's retail, because dude. Like, they don't need you to be there.
When I applied to this job, at this point and forward, if I ever apply to a job, I'm going to be completely open and honest about where I stand.
No surprises.
Like, this is who I am.
Let them be pleasantly surprised at how sane you come across
and I will not
you've told
apologize.
them how insane you are.
I will not apologize.
What do you call it? Like, like undersell and over-deliver? I try to do that often. That's all you're doing. You're like, I'm crazy, but here's how I mostly function. Not so crazy.
So, I think Alyssa called me crazy because I was losing it. I was freaking losing it, and she knew. Like, she called me as I was leaving, and she heard me throwing up.
This is your middle sister, not your littlest sister.
She heard me throwing up, and as I'm throwing up, I'm literally peeing myself, walking to the parking lot, through the parking lot, into the back of a store.
Did you tell her that
People
was what
were
was
watching
happening?
me. She could hear me on the phone, and like. She even asked me, she's like, are you sober? I'm like, I just left work. Like, of course I'm sober.
10 a.m., dude. Like,
it was like 7, 8 o'clock in the at night because I was closing.
Afternoon
but
shift.
Still, like, I was sober. So she even asked me, she's like, I even blacked out a little, but she asked me if I was sober, and I was like, yeah, of course I'm sober right now.
I don't know how I wouldn't.
And because she finally had a very small window of what it's like to have an actual anxiety panic attack, like not just some cute trend. This isn't some quirky personality trait. Like, this is I thought my ears were hot. I'm sweating just thinking about it right now. Like, my ears were hot. My collarbone felt like someone punched me.
Yeah.
My face felt like needles. Like, my stomach breaks.
Right, dude, like a total...
I have a hunchback. Like, I feel like I'm dying.
This is what I was saying.
I'd almost call 911.
It's a parasympathetic nerve system response to what is happening to you.
Like, I wish I could just have like some cool little TikTok anxiety trend. Like, this isn't like that.
Hashtag aren't I cute when I go crazy?
Yeah. Ooh, This isn't like that. This isn't a joke. Like, dude, and I know my mom knows I have anxiety because I once went blind in my left eye for like 8 minutes. I counted, and I called her, and I was like, do you think I'm okay? Yeah. I called her. I was like, do you think I have cataracts? Do I have cancer? Am I having a stroke? And I'm like crying on the phone, and she's like, migraine. You're fine. Just drink some water, maybe have an Advil, maybe just relax, take a nap, have some food, listen to music. Like, my mom has like talked me through some things of anxiety, and because she has seen me, like, my abandonment, like, that's definitely one of the biggest ones. And if you have a borderline personality disorder, BPD, and doing my research and figuring out my hypersexuality disorder, and not just like being a slut, I'm talking about social awkward sexual deviancy.
Yeah, or like the porn addiction and stuff.
Or just like, I remember as a kid, I would be jealous of my parents having sex because I was mad that my dad was touching my mom because she was my person.
Oh, that's interesting.
It had nothing to do with me wanting to physically be with my mom, but the fact that this person, who was my father, who was a very normal, healthy relationship.
More ownership over your mom or something than you meant to as a daughter.
Yeah, and I was just a kid. Like, why didn't anybody think like that was crazy? Like, why didn't anybody like notice that, like, my mom would tell me that you were a difficult kid. I'm like, because I was raised by difficult people.
Yeah.
Like, I had some serious mental issues growing up, and I was so confused, especially I was sexually abused by not one, not two, but 3 fucking cousins, and 2 of them were female.
Yeah.
Those were my first sexual experiences.
So awkward. So then it makes like all of that gets to factor into. Like, is that all mostly on your mom's side? Because I'm here in Santa Barbara.
Telling my mom like what had happened, and my mom came to my rescue. Like, my mom is more than just my mom. Like, she was like, at one point,
she's an advocate.
My fucking
she's
God.
A homie.
And that's disgusting. Like, I need like some serious, like, a healthy relationship boundary between that and having to figure it out as an adult was so hard. so hard. I mean, I still want her to fall in love and be happy with the man who deserves it. And her boyfriend now is such a good guy. I cannot hate him. No matter how much I try, no matter how much I think that he's not good enough, he always shows and proves to her and me that he's a good enough man.
Well, also that, like,
it's like she's in love.
Whatever's happening between the two of you directly is sort of its own thing.
I feel like I've officially grown out that, like, my mom is my mom and no one else's mom. You know, like, I've
well, you're one of three, too, so that's interesting.
I'm the favorite. I've always been the favorite. I think so. I think deep down in my
heart,
like
relates to you.
I feel like I've kind of always. I mean, my mom had me at 19, 20. Like, I grew up with this lady.
Yeah, it's interesting too. You know, my stepbrother and his dad is that close in age as well. Like, he was born to two 18-year-olds that never ended up together, and they, like, he's had more of a relationship with his dad in adult life. But it's just interesting. Like, the dynamic's always so different. Like, when you have that close of age, and when you have sort of a, I don't know, unplanned pregnancy, it's not a mean thing. I was an unplanned pregnancy too.
I mean, obviously I was unplanned
but
pregnancy.
I was just on the other side of things, being that, like, my folks were married and already had one kid. This is like, unplanned pregnancies happen all the time, but you know what I mean? Like, when you're 18, when you're 19, like, your mother was like my brother-in-law's parents were. It changes the dynamic in the long run, especially. Like, it's interesting.
I just feel like part of me has always thought that my mom might have resented me because she like, it wasn't about her. When she was 20 and she was about to give birth, like, it wasn't about her anymore. Yeah. And I'm 28 and I'm definitely not ready to have a kid. And if I do, I'm going to have to share everything with this baby, including my man. Like, I don't think I'm ready for that.
It's actually...
I feel like a part of her has, like, resented the fact that, like, one, I look like my father.
And that's
two,
true.
I might even remind her of all the bad shit that she's gone through. Like, looking at my face is like a history. And I know for a fact that I resent her because there was one thing that she taught me as a little girl. If the house burns down, if anything happens and our world crumbles, the only thing you take is a box of our family photos.
Oh, and then you guys had that whole thing happen.
And that move happened, and she just kind of, like, whatever it did, and she let that go. Like, I don't have a picture of me as a baby. Maybe my family members might have one out there, but, like, I don't have photos growing up. Like, all of that is gone. That's like, sad. Completely gone. I don't have...
And that also makes me be like, ooh, I'm kind of glad that we've started, like, in this digital age, this Google album of Arlie's my own, about to be 4-year-old, my own daughter's, like, life so far. And just because I wouldn't, these are those things, I always am on this this double-edged sword when I'm listening to all adults, when I'm listening to other comedians, when I'm listening to my friends, now that I'm a parent too, because everything that you say, first, most I meet you with where you're at as a friend and as an adult. Secondarily, I come back to myself as a person who's impacting a younger myself, as a mother, as a mentor, whatever the fuck I am. I come back and I think, and how do I be self-aware so I don't do as much damage and I do more good? Because I feel like none of us is perfect, and there's always going to be something that, like, someone can complain about in the future and make maybe a jab at on stage or something. It doesn't always mean that there's, like, literal ill between you, though. So it can be maybe the ire that comes of just being actually real with each other. I'm hoping for that, but I was raised by the baby boomer generation, who was raised by the silent generation, and none of those motherfuckers talked about emotion or anything else. And so, like, even though your mom and you were so, like, close in age and shit's been wild, the understanding that she has of even just the amount she's been able to support you, there's some of the mental health stuff in the past that didn't even exist for me with my parents.
No, I know.
It was like this weird fucking model of no one talks about shit, perfection. When my mom died, all of that stuff came in. Part of my trauma around that was that my dad was like, well, he couldn't say it, right? He couldn't say, I'm too injured right now to be able to support the family, and I'm too injured right now to be able to support what you girls need and have a memorial. He couldn't say that, but he's like, I just can't, we're not gonna have a memorial. And I'm a kid, and I'm like, okay, what dad says goes. And, like, Dude, like, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it. Well, my shit was around that. Like, we're like 18 years later and my mom died and we still haven't distributed her ashes. We never had a fucking funeral. We never had a memorial service. And there was never more a deserving person on the face of the planet than Vicky Lee Wright Watson by birth. And and I didn't realize like how much that fucked me up back then until all the stuff I've done now. And then like it came full circle when my dad just sort of sprung it on us. Like the day after Thanksgiving, hey, let's go distribute her ashes. And it didn't even like, I didn't even think about all the other shit that probably it was triggering alongside it. Like it's my friend that died last year. Fucking, it's his birthday. Like, let's, you know, like one of my 3 trauma points that brought me back into my PTSD last year, right? And it's like, oh, and now we're talking about let's just appease dad again. You know, fuck, dude. These things are so crazy. Like, you don't realize how much things have a hold of you, and then when you become a person who's interested in becoming whole, and you become a person who's interested in exploring the uncomfortable feelings, you start to learn those signs that you're going down the path of like being fucking quiet and not saying something again and not honoring yourself and not honoring all the things that you're going to feel later one way or another. And people like you and me who are with these really great men, the last thing we want to do is bring that home to them and make it their problem and like use them as our rock in the wrong way and like use them as a punching bag. And I feel like sometimes the emotions that come from the trauma of our past, fucking, if you don't know how to deal with that and compartmentalize in the way, they spirals and you bring it in where you don't want it.
My partner is very privileged and he grew up with a very stable home, and I will lay it all on him because he is my partner in life and I trust him to carry my emotions and carry my baggage because he can, and he's shown me that he can.
It's one thing to work it out together. It's another thing to take it out on them. And in the case of the other day, like I started to feel myself getting mad.
Well, he's my favorite person. Like I would never take anything out on him.
The person that I'd want there for distributing the ashes. Like literally, my dad waits until my husband's already gone on a bike ride to be like, oh, hey, by the way, how about we distribute those ashes that I've just been carrying around for fucking the better part of 20 years, you know? And like it sprang on all of us. Like me and my stepmom are both such fucking emotional Gemini creatures. Like we both were being affected by it for different reasons at the same time. Shit just fucking blew up for everybody. And my poor dad, he's just a man. He's just unaware, dude. He's like, oh, like retrospect.
Well, yeah, he had 20 years.
After the whole day has exploded and fucking resettled, after everyone's had to do what they need to do to like be a normal human again, he's like, yeah, I guess it was like maybe not the most tact move of me to just spring that on you. But he had a reason why.
Jesus.
For fucking the past 7 years, we've been getting together as full family and not talking about it when he and my stepmom have been trying to plan it out before. Okay. So fucking tell me 4 days before I come up, right?
Yeah.
But whatever. Like, I just...
Even if it was like a quick text, dude. Like, hey, this is the discussion, and
well, end of the day, though,
when
I will
you get
say
here,
this.
it might happen.
We all like dealt with some ugly feelings together. I literally exploded more in front of my dad than I ever have in my entire life. I'm 34, and my stepmom, I've never like lost it in front of her. I was very embarrassed. I wanted to hide. I wanted to bury myself. I wanted to get the fuck away. But you know what? I couldn't. And then I had to face myself. And then I needed hours away from people to just like fucking me with myself. And then like dance and then make music and fucking and clean the house and normalize. And coming back, it was like we hugged it out. And like, I don't hold grudges. Life's too short. I'm too present. I can't do that shit. So it was like, let's get past this. And then dad was like, okay, I didn't mean to bring it up like that, but now that it's been brought up, you and your sister pick a time, you and your sister pick a place, me and your stepmom will fall in, your husband can be there. So it became less about this feeling of exclusivity of just the three of us, which is what hurt my stepmom. Like, I don't have to be there, but at least invite me, which is what hurt me about like, I mean, my husband doesn't have to be there, but at least let him know what's going on.
Insecurities about your dead mom is pretty weird.
I don't want to cover it here. Yeah. It's like, let's not go there. But yes, everyone has let's just put it this way. We all bring our own selves to the situation, and who those selves are is formed by all the other shit we've been through, okay? And like, everybody fucking first meets each other with our own little selfish perspectives, and then we like settle our shit and realize how much we care about each other, and it's all okay. And that's kind of the whole dumb fuck journey that me and my family went through after Thanksgiving. And then by like 2 days later, it's like, literally celebrating my kid's 4th birthday a couple days early.
I spent Thanksgiving
nice.
by myself in my home.
No, sorry, and I didn't even call you until the next day when I was having a panic attack.
No, it's fine. I mean, you know what though? I was home. I was in my home. I was comfortable. I was cleaning my home. I was thankful for my home. It's my boyfriend's birthday.
Yeah.
He's with his family, and I got a
How
big
old,
cupcake.
by the way?
24.
Oh my God, he's a baby.
I know.
So he's 2 years younger than Charlie.
So
rest in peace, Charles, you beautiful
I baked
bitch.
cupcakes. I decorated our home. It looked like an 8-year-old's birthday party. It was so cute. And then I had work the next morning. It was 7 a.m. So he was going to fly in and walk in on it by himself in our lovely home. And that's what I was thankful for. Like being with this person who's stable enough mentally to this is a godsend relationship. Like I'm pretty sure I might have mentioned that I might have accidentally sold my soul for this.
What the fuck? Wait.
I remember being at the beach one day and I was like in tears because someone had dumped me, and I was like, you know what?
I'm broken again.
The next person who comes into my life, God, is going to be my first and foremost real true love or my first fucking murder.
I'm ready.
So you decide.
Wait. This deserves something. I need some hard rock.
Because I'm coming for it. I'm so done with these hoes. I'm done with the hoes. I'm done with the mess. I'm done with the baggage. I'm done with the shit. I'm like, here. I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. Like,
love it.
I'm actually like people may not think it, but I'm in a really good place, like mentally and emotionally. Like I know I still I'm just like dealing with the repercussions of what like the last blow up was.
Yeah.
But I think this is the final step for me to find my true peace because I really think nothing actually
We're
fucking
still at a brewery.
matters.
That was the cling of 2 glasses because
we're live at a brewery.
Because what she just said is true. Nothing actually truly does matter. And it's all about us deciding if we still want to be here when we realize that.
Life is what you make it.
There's no point, and therefore the only point is what you create. So once you realize that there's no point, you can either literally kill yourself or you can just decide that despite that, we are, and let's do some fucking shit, dude.
Our lifespan of anybody and everyone is just a blimp in the...
It's tiny. Y'all ever been to a natural history museum or someplace with these timelines and they're so many fucking hundreds of thousands and millions of years of dinosaurs? More like humans is the past 100,000 years or some shit. It's insane. We're this little bitty blip that's an inch long and then the whole hallway continues for another fucking 400
I mean, the average
yards.
person is lucky to live maybe 70 years.
Right. My mom died at 52.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then here's my grandma, my one surviving grandparent, is 93 and just got her freaking driver's license re-upped for, no joke, 4 entire years in the state of Nevada. To which she says, Brianne, I don't even know if I'll last that long, but they gave me the license. My grandma's funny, dude. She's like, Grandma, don't say that.
I love Grandma.
Grandma Pat. Great Grandma Pat. She's got 4 grandbabies now. We just had the newest one come along, Bianca. Oh my.
I have baby fever.
Wait, now we have girls too. So
I want to have a baby.
My cousins and I all grew up close, and I call their kids my nieces and nephews.
I don't need a baby.
My own sister's asexual, so she's not probably going to choose to partner and have a child.
She doesn't want to adopt a baby?
Doubt that, dude. She's it's a lot. She's a great aunt. She's the best aunt, and she's a great aunt to our step nieces and to my kid.
Aunt.
So all my immediate cousins and I on my dad's side, as we are having children, we consider ourselves aunts and uncles as first cousins because we all grew up close enough. And Maverick was the first. My cousin Tiffany's little redheaded charming son, which, by the way, that's what my grandfather was, so he might be the one that's nearest and dearest to Grandma's heart because he looks like Grandpa from the redhead. He's not a ginger either, beautiful redhead man, 4 or 5-year-old man, but still getting there. And Arlie was the next. And then my oldest cousin had his first little boy, Finn. And then that same cousin and his wife just had their second one, Bianca. And Anna, his wife, is Italian from northern Italy. So it's like, oh, grandma now has 2 grandbaby boys, 2 grandbaby girls.
That's awesome. One of my best friends is pregnant right now, and she didn't talk to me for like a few months, and I thought she was mad at me because, you know, anxiety.
Yeah, dude.
But,
and then you realize, oh, she's just like pregnant
like
and fixing
she was just
her
protecting
relationship
herself for like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
She's pregnant. She's in love.
Oh wait, Danny, I have to stop you.
Wedding.
This hairdo though, why? The woman in the pink. It's a man's do with long hair. Y'all
It's
ever
like a
thought,
mullet, like a
right, it's
fancy
like,
mullet, and
no,
that
but
blazer.
if you cut her hair the ears down, it's like a normal haircut for a dude.
She looks like she's straight from the 80s.
I just don't get it. I've
Should
never
take a
seen
picture of it so we can post
I
it
hope
on
she's
our...
at least like from Qatar or something. Then I would at least understand it. She just petted her own head. She knows it's wet. Dude, this hairdo is like, if I could put my hair back in like a half kung fu hairstyle, but she just did it with wax or gel. Sorry, guys. Danny's gonna take a picture so that we can post it. She'll come back. It's the FIFA World Cup.
You can't really tell, but...
Yo, I can't believe the U.S. isn't... Oh, you got it. The U.S. isn't gone yet. But they're playing Iran. Sick. Let's see what happens.
Is it racist to go...
I don't know who you'd be offending. You're more native than me.
Oh, that's funny.
She just got a call back on something that she just sent in a headshot for. I'm like rooting for you.
I'm really... Yeah.
But the call was for folks that looked... You tell me. What was the call?
It's for a drama series based in Oregon, and it's a Native American tribe drama series.
And they just wanted like Native American, like generic. You were like, bitch, I am there.
Headshot, and they were like,
yes.
Do you straighten your hair? I was like,
you're like, does that matter?
More than I should.
It's funny as fuck, dude.
Yeah, I know. No, it's gonna be great. I'm like, at this point, I'm just ready
Your hair
for...
looks really good right now. It's
good.
I didn't think about
This
you
is anxiety
straightening.
cry hair. I didn't do anything. I literally just put on wings on my puffy eyes.
And I am that lazy,
from crying all night.
That lazy, mostly white bitch that doesn't do shit to their hair, hoping it'll be like half curly and look cute. And it's only worked.
Yeah, but you've got
when
like
I've
the
lived
body
in,
of a model.
in
so.
places with humidity.
And your face is beautiful, and your
Thanks,
neck is
honey.
long, and you have natural purple eyeliner.
Do go on, but don't stop.
We're just here loving each other.
And I told Danny if I could choose lips. And
You know what, though? I feel
have
like
a forehead and
sometimes-
Danny has a 2-head or a 3-head.
I have an Indian head. Have you noticed? Have you ever looked at a Native American and realized that their foreheads are not very big, but they're what they lack in forehead, they make up in nose bridge.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's just
Whereas,
like-
I think I have this Neanderthal shelf
remember-
on my head. Do you see this? Like, right above my eyebrows.
Do you
What is
remember
that?
Peter Pan? If you go watch the Peter Pan movies, it's literally bangs and forehead. Or not forehead, nose. Like, it's just bangs and nose. Like, if you look at any cartoon of a Native American person, it's just braids and nose.
Yeah, and then if you were like Chinese, it was a hat that looked triangular and big teeth.
All I'm saying is
and pointy eyes. I know.
my small
Tropey and
forehead, my large bridge nose.
Oh yeah, but you forgot your skin should be red too, and maybe there's a tobacco pipe somewhere.
And I have 2 pigtails.
And 2 pigtails, and maybe an eagle feather or 2.
Like pigtails below the ears.
Dude, you know what's funny though? Like, because of your native heritage, you could actually fucking like do what I can't. Like, side of the road, we could find some hawk that's been hit by a truck, sad, and you could collect its tail feathers and be like, I'm just trying to upcycle this shit.
You know what?
And if I am found with them, the Endangered Species Act basically says, nah, bitch. But you could be like, but I'm native, and they'd be like, well, that's okay.
So for Alex's birthday, we went to Sandy Inez. We went to Juan Saddlery. Super awesome place, guys. Everybody,
have you been to the
please.
haberdashery yet?
No, shut up. Listen.
I want a hat. That's what a haberdashery is.
Is that what it's called?
It's a hat maker.
No way.
A cowboy told me.
So we went went to the saddlery and we made like super awesome custom belts from like leather. I don't know what part of the cow, but still. Anyway.
The skin.
Right. You're right. So this man, this California cowboy, like full on Native American man comes up and he's like brought like food gifts for Juan and I and Alex. Juan.
You sure he doesn't go by Juan? Because I feel like all my friends lately, it's like Louis.
But he brought like a rack of lamb, like a big steak of lamb. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, the grill's coming now. We're going to start grilling up. He sashimi'd the lamb, put it on a bell pepper with blue cheese and avocado and ate it.
Wait, you mean like
red meat?
Cook it?
He did not cook it. And he gave me some. It was the most delicious.
Did he butcher it himself?
He butchered it himself.
Like an hour before.
He brought raw lamb, he wrapped it up in a brown paper bag, and he brought it. And he had pre-washed it and everything.
What do you call that when it's red meat? The fucking...
I don't know, dude. But he gave it to me.
Gazpacho? No.
My body...
Carpaccio.
I literally, when I ate this, I was like, oh my God, my body is... so happy.
Beef.
Alex tried it too and he loved it, but later on he was like, oh, I got the bubblies. Like, he couldn't handle it.
It's like beef carpaccio but with lamb, dude. That's intense.
Oh, that's loud.
Oh, it's fine.
Well, we're live at a brewery.
We're live at the brewery, dude. You need it. I was like actually amazed that to this point we didn't have any competing noise. It's actually awesome. But so I was like, we need to clang glasses so people believe us. Like, just because you say it.
Yeah, we're live at a brewery.
I swear to God.
So,
dude, we're at.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a time to say this is Spectrum Podcast. This is Breezy.
Oh yeah. And this is Dani.
Where's my sultry sound?
Dani with one N and one I. So let's just quick clarify, because I know people are listening and wanted clarification. I was in the wrong, people were in the wrong, and people have done wrong. And every day is a new day and you can make shit right. Or you don't have to. It's up to you. Life is what you make it.
I think that what Dani's trying to say is that she made a move that she needed. She didn't need it to be as publicly upsetting for some others of you, and yet at the end of the day, we all needed it.
Oh, I didn't give a fuck. Like, I didn't give a fuck about it.
Of course not. But what you care about is, like, they pushed themselves into some uncomfortable position where they're like, I'm not ready to deal with emotion.
I feel like they just made it about them.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Is like,
just clarifying that
it is uncomfortable to face things that are uncomfortable. And those of us who are on the journey don't mind doing it. But for everybody else, it just sucks. It's like you're taking their perfectly compartmentalized selves and you're fucking threatening everything they've done. And then they're mad at you about it. But it's because you made them uncomfortable and they care about you.
I come from a very broken family, not just immediate, but extended and then onward extended. I know I have family from cousins and aunts and uncles who have trauma, and my family is so good at cutting each other off, and I don't want to do that.
No, that's called way too much effort, dude. Honestly,
but
it
if
takes
you're listening,
more work to do that than not.
And somehow we're related, just know that you're loved, and life is short. Nothing is guaranteed other than your own death.
Yeah.
And I don't wish that on anybody, because I have my own death I need to worry about.
I just noticed your tattoo also says death before dishonor, and I do believe that you try your very hardest for that to be real. You and I both are the type of people to meet people where they're at, and that's a beautiful thing. And sometimes it sucks that others aren't able to do that for us. We don't hold it against anyone.
Oh my God, we have a tattoo appointment on...
Oh, that was what we wanted to talk about.
We have a tattoo appointment on Monday.
Good.
How cool.
Perfect. And in that perfect segue, so...
I'm going to get a face tattoo. I don't give a shit anymore. I totally am. I think I'm going to tattoo...
You're going to get a fucking...
I'm going to do it.
You're trying to get a teardrop
so
because you killed your mom. Is that okay?
But poof.
Well, yeah, where's... Ba-da-da-da-dun-dun. Shut... Oh, fuck. I'm fucking up, guys. Wait, hold on. I'm not usually this slow. All right.
Gang.
I had the short rim shot.
Skirt. skirt gang, skirt gang.
No, but Dani asked me earlier. She's like, yo, you remember we have this appointment? And I was like, I mean, I've got a calendar too. So I asked my friend Liz to draw me up. You asked me earlier, what am I going to get? Do I know? And I asked my friend Liz, who's a visual artist, to draw up.
Yo, ADD as fuck, though.
Oh, yeah, always. I asked her to draw up an alien, dude, because remember, it was on that tip. So my left arm, which Vinay has now done the most work on, is becoming an amalgamation of somewhat of
Can we just do a quick shout out to Vinay and her tattoo
shout out
artist?
To Vinay Rivera for being amazing.
Mary Tattoo.
Mary Tattoo.
In Santa Barbara. And
Amazing.
located in the funk zone.
She
Hit
has
her
her
up.
own private tattoo shop, and you can DM her or email her for appointments.
She's the shit, girls.
We
and
should
guys,
hold on.
And non-binary fucks.
Yeah, no, she respects.
Am I allowed to say that?
No, yes. I was just gonna try and look up her official handle, so I wasn't being a dick. Oh, look, there she is. Perfect. Vinay Rivera at Mary Tattoo SB, like she said, MaryTattoosB. Get at her. Anyway, yeah, we're there on Monday. My whole left arm is becoming a sleeve where my inside was a cover-up that has like a cosmic scene surrounded by some classic flowers. So
Do you
my
regret
friend Vinay,
covering up that tattoo now that you have so many
I
tattoos?
love it. I love my whole arm. No ragrats. It's good. No ragrats.
Raggarts.
No ragrats. None of that. So Vinay's helping me to make a sleeve out of a bunch of random shit. And it's kind of space themed, cosmic themed. So I was gonna go with like an alien, but I kind of wanted to do like the UFO with like the little guy you kind of see in the
Dude,
UFO,
you should get a
and
fucking
like
cow.
a cow getting pulled up into the beam of light. That's what I wanted to do. And if Liz does
I
not,
think it'd be better instead of in the actual like that. What like it seems like a portrait kind of thing. What if you got just a cow with like alien like.
What if I got a cow being
alien eye, like all black eyes?
What if the alien was riding a 3-eyed alien cow?
What?
I don't know, dude. But all I know is that if Lizzie doesn't have something for me, I'm going to let Vinay just riff off of the idea.
I think an alien, like a blackout-eyed alien cow would be really cute and creepy as fuck.
You know that I stopped eating cows in middle school because I just loved them and thought they were cute?
They are cute.
I straight up didn't eat red meat for like 4 years because I just thought they were cute. Not because I had any other... You're funny, I'd become a like geographer and environmentalist later.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, red meat and stuff. It's the pits. It's the worst for the planet. But at that time, it was literally just cuteness. You know, there we are. Okay.
Anyways, as we wrap up this last episode,
Latest episode, not last.
Yeah, this
First,
latest.
actually. First time doing a live brewery sesh, to which I clink our glasses so you know it's truth. And I sip.
Scott, you have been so cool, so awesome. You've
Who's
been
Scott?
a great
I don't
friend.
know. They don't know. Who's Scott?
Scott knows who's Scott. He's one of our regular listeners.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. He's
Thank
so
you
sweet.
For paying attention to our audience
He's
in that way, too.
such a good person, and I'm pretty sure he's single. So maybe I'll ask him if he's comfortable with
Anybody
sharing.
else out there that's
He's a good
looking for
guy.
another?
I
my
mean-
friend. I have a beautiful friend that just visited me last week from LA, one of my best friends from UCLA. Her name is Sarah Sussman. She's an amazing creature. She's elegant.
Are we talking about Scott?
She's under 5 foot tall, and she's
Oh my God.
she's got a PhD in English.
Are we gonna set Scott
and all
and
I'm
Sarah
saying
up?
is that like when she was up here, it was the first time I've ever like slightly used someone's
You guys
Tinder.
follow up with us?
To swipe left or right, and I was like overwhelmed.
God.
And she's like, "You're taking way too much time," and I was like, "I can't do this." And then my daughter did it for us, and she was way worse because she actually flung both directions. But when Sarah did it, was just blah 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 blah. So all I'm saying is that Scott, get it, Sarah.
and Sarah's get at Scott.
Yeah. Because I'm sure Sarah's listening now that she knows that I do this.
I feel like Scott likes those big titty anime girls.
Yes. Well, when you're tiny, everything looks big.
All I'm saying is, Scott, you've been so awesome, and you've been such a good friend.
Oh, God,
so
I hit the wrong one.
supportive.
Please ignore that.
Great. Sweet. Kind.
And he actually gets one
caring.
of these. Follow one of these. Thank you for caring and being here. All of you. Any of you.
And being so supportive.
And, okay, I like to say we are an entertainment and comedic podcast.
But we get real.
I think that most of you appreciate, let me re-enunciate, appreciate that the best part of comedy comes from the non-comedy part. So thank you for being with us on a semi-serious retrospective after Thanksgiving, or as I call it for Dandy.
And for anybody checking in,
Indian Death Day.
and if you're listening, fuck the.
Didn't I tell you something like that? I was like,
Yeah, you're like, happy Kill a Indian Day.
oh, that's what I said,
And I
like,
was
Kill an
like,
Indian Day. And then I posted even like a nice picture of my husband and my kid on swings being all cute. And I was
You know
like,
what's-
and I said, you know, like happy, I was like, happy everything and don't kill nobody or something.
That's so
like,
funny. I posted a picture
Oh,
of a
yeah.
dead cow in a pot.
all I could think is like, this is like, no one's going to get this, but maybe Danny, but I don't really care.
Anyway,
Because the rest are just going to see the cute picture of the husband and the baby and be like,
as we wrap up our latest episode,
yeah.
I just want to be thankful to everyone who's listened.
Shout out to Ventura Slim and Trim, who's like pretending that this is what happens when you do electrolysis on fat.
No, shut up.
Oh, wow. See, that's how you know I'm at a fucking brewery. There's screens all around, guys.
So,
And we still managed to make 1 hour live and neat.
feel free to comment below, message us, email us at any
Remember-
point. Our personal Instagrams, feel free.
We are at Rare Girl for the production part. That's RAREGRRRL for YouTube. You can find us directly at that now, which is cool. YouTube's added that feature, so use it. If you mention us anywhere else, it'll like bring us into the mix. So if you want to promote us, cool guys, do it. And then you can find us on Instagram at spectrum.pod. And we love you. And then each of us is connected as our individuals. And we
Yeah.
really do want to hear from you. We really do care about you. It's not a lie.
And
It's
even
not
if you want
facetious.
to, schedule a day to come on and talk about anything, we're here. And we can give you our honest opinion, or we can give you our more honest opinion.
Also, we have the ability to do call-ins, and we would like to make you our guests as our listeners. So let's all just be in contact and be real with each
And if
other.
you ever have a shout out that you want to give out, let us know. I'm Dani.
This has been Breezy, and let's give another
And
clink.
this has been fucking awesome.
This has been
And
awesome. It
I'm
was
so glad.
It was a little bit more off the cuff and a little bit more improv than normal. We needed it. This is our first live from a brewery series, and we would like to do more. And if you want to join us and make more guests at this, I have more microphones. So
Get at us.
get at us.
Bye.
Bye. We.